Hello friends, today we are going to see about few interesting things of working with Linux machines. First of all, let me explain how to run a Linux machine from your computer. There are quite a lot of methods to run Linux operating system. That is a very easy way of accessing virtual machine if you have internet connection. Now Google has deployed a cloud service for providing access to virtual machine instances. I'll let you explain how to create a successful virtual machine instance to use a Linux operating system from your remote end machine. You need to log on to cloud.google.com and sign in with your Gmail credentials. And you have an option of taking console to know about the applications running in Google Cloud server through HTTP, and you have a trial version of Google Cloud platform to work with a credit of $300. So you can grab this opportunity to explore more applications from Google Cloud. And one of the interesting is virtual machine from a resource named Compute Engine. You can go and click here the computer engine. You have an option of creating virtual machine instance over there. Now you are seeing two instances which was already being created, um, and you can also observe an internal IP and external IP. And presently, as these instances are not running, you don't find an external IP address, and these were the virtual machine and configured IP address. But to take console with help of SSH, then you require an external IP address that would be created on activating the instances. Let me create an new instance for your easy and to get installed without any problem. Naming it as trial, and you can choose how many cores you can, and Google Cloud provides still 8 core CPUs, and for small scale, for For personal projects, one core CPU is far enough to go with, and you have independent choice of choosing your operating system. And generally you don't enable any others. Create. This is a platform through which you can bring out an virtual machine within few minutes. Please take a note of this IP address, and you have been notified that instance been created and it's running. The green shows that it's running, and let's have a look at it. Have a note of this IP address. Google platform allows you to take SSH session with its HTTP application. You were able to successfully see an Linux enterprise server. You can observe the IP address of the created instances, and you can check the connectivity with ISP. You can see what are the applications are being created in TCP and UDP ports to connect with the applications. Linux is a version of implementations. It's an open-ended platform, so you have quite a lot of applications to test and keep updated and work with it each and every day. uh, Enhancements are pretty high, as well as more sophisticated with working with um, virtual machines. and and basically it's a file-based operating system, so the bringing out in an user interactive method is pretty easy. That's how you're ending up in seeing a lot of flavors with Linux operating system. So here few of the uh, essential commands to get tester or root. Let's today see few interesting sort of commands to work with Linux. I have set of commands to give you insight about essentials of in Linux operating system with help of these commands, and few of the uh, exploring commands or man apropos what is generally man helps in getting to know various set of options available and to know briefly about the command. So a good man page gives a detailed descriptions of all the commands. So can quit with help of escape or control C, control Z to control C. Help generally gives about um, info actually uh, list the features in a document way for increasing readability. Propose if you want to know about anything. But you don't end up in getting examples for this. You have to test each and every command. And few other command informations or which shows the full path of the commands. And few other command informations are where is it's to locate the binary file, interesting part is like file operations like can create sample 1.txt, how this is my computer, this is my stuff. So cat allows you to display the contents in the console rather than opening as an editor. So we are here VA or editor, which allows you to edit the created file. There are a few other editors, namely VI, Nano, Emacs, mm, then VIM, Emacs, few editors require install. You can use apt get sudo install emacs. Or use yum install nano. It depends on the flavor of Linux operating system. Few commands uh, vary. Generally, apt-get install application allows you to install the application if you are connected with ISP. This takes you to the last working directory. This takes to the parent directory. This takes to the root. So this gives you the last working directory. This going to be your root. And you can create you have created two successful files. For creating folder, we use makedir, the first one. To access folder, use cd. ls command always lists the contents of the path on the location of which you are present, and it displays all the files and folders at your location, and comes with many options to increase the analysis of each and every file at your location. Like you can get to know what permission that each file possesses, and the timestamp, as well as the size, as well as the type of the file. The user can change the file permission through chmod. So you're giving access to user, group, others, everyone full access on writing, executing, as well as reading. So sample1.txt, you can see now sample1.txt been assigned with all sort of permission for different users. Like so the default one would be always says 644. Let you show you what are the other interesting things, like we can concatenate with help of TAC command, sample1.text, sample2.text, and it displays the console. That's the beauty. And you can also use different to see line by line difference. One count, so it's saying it's one. If you modify so it shows that it's differing by 2 lines. You have an GUI based comparison command named vimdiff, through which you can get to know what is the change you're inferring from the files. Generally, grep is a very important command. Let us explain you how it works. ps gives the list of process like running in your system. This tells you what is the process ID and how many terminals are over which the process runs. So in only one terminal, suppose if you take multiple terminal, it displays differently. And to know all the process running over your system, you can give this command, and it also explains you a few more details of your process, like the state of each and every process. Like there are different states: running, sleeping, waiting, sleeping state. So to know more about each and every process, generally this command will be helpful. And it also tells you about the memory and CPU usage. and top command gives you leverage to monitor the memory usage of your system. It keeps on updating as it's a standalone machine. The number of processes running over the machine is very less, so you don't see much variance. But real time, the operating system consumes all different and varied load depends on the applications. So the memory consumption of your hub provider disk will be varying. This is actually a very important thing for analyzing your issues related to networks. Let's allow you to uh, give an insight about grep. So let's filter only the file name which starts with sample. So for that grep, so generally saying that filter my output from the command with the help of a pipe, which means that the output of this command is fed into a pipe with an condition saying that look for the string available at the output and display only those lines to my output window for my convenience. So this is how this works. And grep have more options, like starting off to filter with help of the first string, and even sometimes it allows you to get the right file from the list of files from the help of what type of user timestamp. um, Many other options are there, like to locate the uppercase, lowercase, ignore case, like filtering with regular expressions. There are quite a lot of options with this. So generally to filter from a very large output, this command is required. And I would like to say the top command shows a full list of process running, um, but if you take file sample, take something and you copy entire thing, or take some file, or open notepad file. This waste less time, so just copying and loading here. So it's being loaded. It's been completely loaded. So cat command, it's more than a page, so it gives you page by page of, whereas this directly shows all the contents to your console and won't allow you to wait till the user can read from start. So the less command is useful for increasing the readability and for analysis, whereas the more command the more command that allows you by a few instead of line by line reading less command, but more allows you scroll as much as on pressing of your cursor. Hmm, interesting thing. You can OD command OF, it allows you to dump your files in octal form till it remains same, and you have an option of creating soft link for the files you created, like SAM. That means that if you still open SAM, your file is the contents of the original files are viewed with a different name. It won't take much memory. It's a soft link that hyphen hyphen this hard link. And tail f sample dot 3 dot text. So I'll leave the last few lines of the code, like can tell how many lines of code lines you want to view. Command tail command. Number of lines. Oh, head hyphen n 10 lines sample. Generally, these commands are useful to see few set of lines in the log file, and those 10 lines. And stat is a command. You can create folder. which tells you the file system of your directory, how much size it occupies and how much block of memory it occupies, and all the memory details. Inode is nothing but to identify the file. As I said earlier, the Unix as well as the Linux or file based operating system. So the internal things of each and every traversal or creation at your file system, so file based. So even on creation of your directory will be holding an inode number for that created folder in terms of file. And you can see few important command like disk usage, du-f, -h, user readable format, ph, and batch sample one dot. Generally tells you what are the modification you have done in sample to be applied to the sample 1 to act as a repository, like updating our existing file. So sample 1.txt to sample 2.txt to comp.txt. So here comp.txt would be having batch, which should be applied batch. Now if you see sample 1, so the changes of, if you compare to 0, you apply the update of the text file to the sample 1. For a larger work, these commands are really helpful to know what are the changes you have made and easily revert it back to an older version, like maintaining rather than having a separate repository for the code. You can use these commands to look for the file as well as revert it back to the original one. And today we are seeing command, file information, file operation, file properties, directories, and this thing gives you the path of the present directory, and DARs displays the current directory. You can access shell here. You can print nv to know various environment you have in your machine, and you can change the environment as such you want, like executing certain binaries which you required for your environment, and avoiding certain commands like, as you see, apt-get were not allowed in this operating system. The environment were pretty different from environment used in other flavors. So you can change the environment as such you want to move further with your work. So for that, like getting into shell and changing the environment will give you the convenience of using operating system as you wanted. There are a few system commands too, like dmessage to know the debugging message. You know, yeah, it's a kind of uh, debugging boot message of your kernel. It's a kernel message, like kernel is the one is the key element for booting your operating system. So generally it holds a software development kit, and logs are not generally available for your view. To know much about the logs, you'll be issuing this command to know the kernel logs, like port details, like if your operating system is being attached to the physical hardware, and by the time you are required to know much more about the logs happening at your kernel side to know what's happening with the interface drivers as well as the connection between the kernel to the TCP/IP stack. So this is a very important thing. So today we'll finish this. We can see much more about the system commands as well as few other hardware commands in next session. Till then, bye. And don't forget to stop your instance as this trial version. Keep stopping. Generally you don't want much more instance. Just delete. Let's explore more about file traversals between the virtual machines as well as from your remote host to the virtual instances you created in Google Cloud. Much more in the next sessions. Bye. Keep using this. Bye.